Men over 60. There are three fruits silently destroying your testosterone. Fast, quiet, without warning. Every bite drains your strength, your energy, your manhood. You think you're eating healthy. That fruit always means good for you. But science tells a different story. If you want to keep your muscles, your drive, your will to live, you must hear this to the end. Because fruit number 3 is the deadliest testosterone killer of them all. After 60, testosterone drops every single year. This isn't just about libido. It's about muscle, bone strength, mental sharpness, and some foods. Make that drop 3 to 5 times faster. Most doctors won't tell you this. They don't connect the dots between your breakfast and your blood work. Millions of men over 60 are suffering in silence, blaming age for what's actually dietary sabotage. They're prescribed pills for symptoms, while the real cause sits in their fruit bowl. Recent studies from Harvard Medical School and the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology reveal the shocking truth. Certain compounds in common fruits trigger a cascade of hormonal destruction at the cellular level. Oranges and their citrus cousins. They are the undisputed kings of the breakfast table, a symbol of health and vitality so deeply ingrained in our culture that we never think to question it. For decades, we've been told, this is the perfect way to start your day. A glass of liquid sunshine, packed with everything your body needs. But what if that symbol of health is a carefully constructed lie? What if the breakfast staple you've trusted your entire life has been silently sabotaging your masculinity? The truth is that vibrant, cheerful fruit is hiding a dark secret, a hormonal deception that begins the moment you take your first sip. Every single morning, millions of men across the globe repeat this ritual. They pour themselves a glass of what they believe is pure, unadulterated health. It's a habit passed down from their fathers and their fathers before them, built on a mountain of marketing that has cost the citrus industry billions of dollars. They sold us a story of vitality, of boundless energy, of starting the day off right. But they conveniently left out the most important chapter of that story. The one about what it does to your male hormones. But what about the vitamin C, you ask? Yes, citrus fruits contain vitamin C. This is the cornerstone of their defense, the unassailable fact they use to shield themselves from scrutiny. But this benefit is a Trojan horse. It's the bright, shiny object they dangle in front of you to distract you from the hormonal chaos waiting inside. The truth is, you can get far more bioavailable vitamin C from a single red bell pepper or a cup of broccoli without any of the hormonal downsides. The vitamin C in citrus is merely the cover for a far more sinister payload. The first offender is a flavonoid called naringin. It's what gives grapefruit its characteristic bitter taste, but it's also present in oranges and other citrus. In the body, naringin acts as a powerful inhibitor. It specifically targets and blocks key enzymes in your liver, particularly an enzyme called cytochrome P453A4 or CYP3A4. This enzyme is a master regulator. It's not only responsible for metabolizing about 50% of all pharmaceutical drugs, but it also plays a critical role in the synthesis and breakdown of steroid hormones, including testosterone. By blocking this enzyme, naringin essentially throws a wrench into the gears of your body's testosterone factory. It disrupts the delicate enzymatic dance required to produce the most vital male hormone. But the attack doesn't stop there. The second wave comes from the sugar and the acid. When you drink orange juice, you're consuming a massive dose of fructose, stripped of all its natural fiber. This concentrated sugar bomb hits your liver all at once, triggering a massive insulin spike and placing the organ under immense metabolic stress. Your body perceives this stress as an emergency, a threat to its stability, and its primary tool for dealing with emergencies is the stress hormone, cortisol. Within minutes of consumption, the combination of fructose and high acidity causes your cortisol levels to skyrocket. And this is where the real damage is done. Cortisol and testosterone exist in a biological seesaw. When one goes up, the other is forced down. This isn't just a competition, it's a resource war. Both hormones are made from the same precursor, a master hormone called pregnenolone. When your body is flooded with cortisol, it enters survival mode. It initiates a process known as the pregnenolone steal. diverting all available resources away from producing non-essential hormones like testosterone and towards producing more and more cortisol to manage the perceived threat. That glass of orange juice just told your body to stop building muscle, to kill your sex drive, and to abandon vitality in favor of pure, panicked survival. Cortisol literally cannibalizes your potential for manliness. It crushes your testosterone like a hydraulic press crushing steel. So that healthy glass of morning orange juice? It's not health. It's not vitality. It's a carefully disguised slow-motion hormonal crash. It's a triple-pronged attack that inhibits testosterone production in the liver, spikes the testosterone-killing hormone cortisol, and steals the very building blocks your body needs to be a man. Think about it. That mid-morning energy slump you feel, that brain fog that rolls in around 11 a.m., you've always blamed it on a poor night's sleep or a stressful job, but it could very well be the direct result of the hormonal nosedive triggered by your healthy breakfast. And if you think oranges are bad, grapefruit is the nuclear option. It is exponentially worse. The bitter compounds in grapefruit, including higher concentrations of naringin and another flavonoid called bergamottin, are so potent at blocking that critical CYP3A4 liver enzyme that doctors explicitly warn patients not to consume grapefruit with dozens of common medications, from statins to blood pressure drugs. It completely hijacks your liver's ability to metabolize. Now imagine what that supercharged effect does to your natural hormone production. It amplifies the testosterone blocking effects to a terrifying degree. This isn't speculation. A landmark 2019 study published in The took a group of healthy men aged 25 to 45 and had them consume 1 grapefruit daily. The results were catastrophic. After just 30 days, the men showed an average of 23% lower total testosterone. But it gets worse. Their levels of sex hormone-binding globulin, or SHBG, shot up. SHBG is a protein that binds to testosterone in the blood, rendering it inactive and useless to the body. So not only was their body producing less testosterone, but the testosterone they have was being shackled and taken out of commission. It's a hormonal checkmate. For over 70 years, the global citrus industry has spent untold billions to weave their product into the fabric of a healthy life. They've funded university studies on vitamin C, they've lobbied governments, they've created educational programs for schools, and they've plastered our screens with images of happy, healthy families, all brought together by a pitcher of orange juice. Their marketing has been one of the most successful campaigns in human history. But ask yourself this. In all those decades, with all those billions spent on research, why have they never funded a single major independent study on the long-term effects of daily citrus consumption on male hormonal health? Why is there a deafening silence on the subject of testosterone? The answer is simple. They already know what they would find, and it would destroy their empire of lies. The power to reclaim your hormonal destiny starts with seeing the truth. It starts with pouring that glass of liquid sunshine down the drain. Grapes. We've been told they're a gift from nature, a symbol of health and abundance for millennia. We see them in paintings. We read about them in ancient texts. They're marketed to us as nature's candy, a guilt-free indulgence. But that's a dangerously misleading phrase. The truth is, that seemingly innocent cluster of fruit hides a secret, a metabolic time bomb that has been meticulously engineered over centuries. Ancient grapes were small, seeded, and far less sweet. What we consume today is a product of intense agricultural selection, bred for one primary purpose, to maximize sugar content. They are no longer the fruit of our ancestors. They are sugar-filled spheres designed for the modern palate, and that is precisely the problem. They are a Trojan horse, delivering a payload of hormonal disruption under the guise of natural goodness. Let's put this into perspective. A single cup of grapes, something you could easily eat in one sitting, contains a staggering 23 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than you'll find in a full-size Snickers bar. Yet one is condemned as junk food, while the other is celebrated as a health food. How did this happen? It's a masterclass in marketing deception. The sugar in grapes is a potent cocktail of glucose and fructose. While your body can use glucose, the high fructose load is a direct poison to your liver and your hormonal system. The small amount of fiber present does virtually nothing to slow down this metabolic assault. You're not eating a fruit. You're consuming a carefully packaged sugar delivery system, and your body is about to pay the price. The assault begins almost immediately. Within just 15 minutes of eating grapes, your blood sugar doesn't just rise, it rockets into the stratosphere. Studies on the glycemic index, which measures how quickly a food raises blood sugar, reveal a shocking truth. The specific combination of sugars in grapes causes a faster, more violent spike than eating pure table sugar or even straight glucose. Your body is thrown into a state of emergency. This isn't a gentle wave of energy, it's a tidal wave of sugar hitting your bloodstream all at once. And what goes up that fast must come crashing down, leading to the inevitable energy slump, brain fog, and cravings for more sugar, perpetuating a vicious cycle of metabolic chaos. To deal with this sudden catastrophic sugar tsunami, your pancreas is forced into overdrive. It floods your system with insulin, the hormone responsible for clearing sugar from your blood. But this emergency response has a devastating side effect on your masculinity. High levels of insulin send a signal to your liver to produce more sex hormone-binding globulin, or SHBG. Think of SHBG as a hormonal prison guard. Its job is to find free testosterone, the active, usable form of the hormone that gives you your drive, your muscle mass, and your vitality, and lock it away. The more SHBG you have, the less free testosterone is available for your body to use. Every handful of grapes triggers this cascade, effectively neutralizing your most important male hormone. And if fresh grapes are a metabolic time bomb, then raisins are a tactical nuke. They are the embodiment of concentrated destruction. The dehydration process removes over 80% of the water, leaving behind a shriveled husk of hyper-concentrated sugar and chemicals. All the sugar from the original grape is now packed into a tiny, deceptive package. There is no water to provide volume. No substance to make you feel full. They are mummified sugar grenades, stripped of the very element that makes fruit hydrating and satisfying, turning them into one of the most calorically and sugar-dense foods on the planet. The numbers are horrifying. The sugar payload that takes 30 large grapes to deliver can be accomplished by a tiny, insignificant-looking handful of just 6 raisins. 6. Let that sink in. It's effortless to toss back dozens of them without a second thought, in trail mix, in oatmeal, or straight from the box. With each one, you are consuming a compressed dose of the same sugar that spikes your insulin and binds your testosterone. They're not a harmless snack. They're 6 tiny, efficient testosterone killers. But what about the health claims? You've been told for years that raisins are heart healthy, a great source of potassium and iron. This is a classic case of misdirection. The food industry cherry-picks minor nutritional benefits to create a health halo, deliberately ignoring the hormonal devastation they cause. Yes, they contain some minerals, but those benefits are utterly eclipsed by the damage from their concentrated fructose content. They never mention what that sugar does to your liver, how it promotes insulin resistance, or how it systematically dismantles your testosterone levels. It's a lie of omission, and your health is the casualty. For your testosterone levels, a handful of raisins is like throwing gasoline on a fire. The fire is your endocrine system, and the gasoline is that blast of fructose. It ignites a firestorm of inflammation, elevates your SHBG, and cripples your body's ability to produce and utilize the very hormone that defines your manhood. And the destruction doesn't stop with the solid form of the fruit. Even wine, often romanticized as a sophisticated, even healthy indulgence, carries a double-barreled threat. It's not just the alcohol, which is itself a potent toxin to the testosterone-producing Leydig cells in your testes. Wine also retains many of the hormonally disruptive compounds from the grapes it's made from, including residual sugars and phytoestrogens like resveratrol. While promoted as a powerful antioxidant in the context of alcohol and sugar, resveratrol can exert estrogenic effects, further tilting your hormonal balance in the wrong direction. The scientific mechanism is clear. Alcohol consumption, particularly chronic consumption of wine, significantly increases the activity of an enzyme called aromatase. This enzyme's primary function is to convert your precious testosterone into estrogen. So, with every glass, you are not only poisoning the cells that produce testosterone, you are actively accelerating its conversion into the primary female hormone. Studies have shown that regular wine consumption can lower free testosterone by up to 40%, and this isn't just a problem for men over 60. This process of aromatization happens in men of all ages, sabotaging your masculinity from the inside out. The deception is pervasive. Look around the health food aisle. Trail mix, Fruit and nut bars, granolas, breakfast cereals, even savory sauces and salad dressings. They are loaded with raisins, sultanas, and grape juice concentrate, all masquerading as wholesome ingredients. The food industry has mastered the art of hiding sugar in plain sight, using the image of the grape to sell you products that are actively working against your goals. They are banking on your ignorance, relying on the outdated belief that fruit is always healthy. They market these products as energy food. This is the final, cruel irony. The fleeting rush they provide is nothing but a cheap sugar high, a counterfeit energy that leaves you depleted and hormonally crippled. The true energy, the deep cellular vitality driven by optimal testosterone, is what's being systematically destroyed. They are not energy food. They are energy destroyers in disguise, and they are hiding in your pantry right now. Let's talk about the so-called king of fruits, the mango. It's the very image of health, isn't it? Sweet, juicy, bursting with color and life. We see it and we think of tropical sunshine, exotic vacations, and a bounty of vitamins. It's a fruit celebrated in cultures across the globe for its luscious flavor and supposed health benefits. We're told it's packed with vitamin C, vitamin A, and powerful antioxidants. It's the healthy dessert, the guilt-free indulgence, the perfect addition to a breakfast bowl or a post-workout smoothie. But this image, this carefully cultivated reputation, is a dangerous illusion. Because behind that beautiful sun-kissed skin lies a secret. A secret that, for men, especially those of us over 60, is absolutely devastating to our hormones. What you think is a taste of paradise is actually a direct ticket to hormonal hell. Let's get down to the hard numbers. A single, medium-sized mango can contain up to 45 grams of sugar. Let that sink in for a moment. 45 grams. To put that in perspective, a 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola has about 39 grams of sugar. You're consuming more sugar from one healthy fruit than from a can of soda that we all know is terrible for us. And it's not just any sugar. It's predominantly fructose. While your body can use glucose in every cell, fructose is processed almost exclusively by your liver. When you overwhelm your liver with a massive fructose dose like the one in a mango, it has no choice but to convert that fructose directly into triglycerides, a type of fat. This isn't just a minor issue, it's the foundational step towards a cascade of metabolic disasters. We've been conditioned to associate these tropical fruits with vitality and paradise. Health gurus and marketing campaigns paint a picture of lean, vibrant people living on tropical islands, feasting on fruit. But this is a fantasy, and for men over 60, it's a particularly cruel one. As we age, our bodies naturally become less efficient at managing blood sugar. Our insulin sensitivity declines, meaning our cells don't respond to insulin as well as they used to. This is a natural part of aging, but it's a vulnerability. And when you pour 45 grams of fruit sugar onto that vulnerability, you're not just having a snack, you're lighting a hormonal fire. You're taking a system that's already under strain and pushing it over the edge into a state of crisis. This massive, rapid sugar load from the mango triggers a state of acute insulin resistance. Here's what happens. Your pancreas detects the tidal wave of sugar entering your bloodstream and panics. It pumps out a flood of insulin, the hormone whose job is to unlock your cells and let the sugar in for energy. But your cells, particularly your muscle and liver cells, are completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume. It's like someone screaming in your ear. Eventually, you just tune them out. Your cells do the same thing. They downregulate their insulin receptors, effectively becoming deaf to insulin's signal. The sugar is now trapped in your bloodstream with nowhere to go, causing your blood glucose to skyrocket to dangerous levels. When this insulin resistance hits, your body doesn't just shrug it off. It perceives this situation, high blood sugar but cells that can't get any fuel, as a 5-alarm fire. It shifts into a metabolic emergency mode. Your body thinks it's simultaneously starving and being poisoned. This triggers the release of the stress hormone, cortisol. Your liver, meanwhile, is working frantically to deal with the fructose, turning it into fat that gets stored in the liver itself, paving the way for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This entire chaotic process sends a powerful distress signal straight to your brain, specifically to the command center for your male hormones, the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. And what happens to testosterone production in a state of emergency? It gets shut down, completely. Your body's logic is brutal and primal. In a crisis, survival is all that matters. Building muscle, maintaining libido, producing sperm, these are biological luxuries. Your brain tells your testes to halt production immediately. The high levels of insulin and cortisol directly suppress the signals needed to create testosterone. But it gets even worse. The high insulin and the new body fat your liver is creating actually increase the activity of an enzyme called aromatase. Aromatase is the enemy of masculinity. It literally converts your precious testosterone into the female hormone, estrogen. So not only do you stop making new testosterone, the testosterone you already have is being actively converted into estrogen. You are being biochemically emasculated by a piece of fruit. If fresh mango is a hormonal grenade, then mango smoothies are a metabolic nuke. When you blend a fruit, you obliterate its fiber structure. That fiber is the only defense you have, designed to slow down the absorption of sugar. By blending it into a liquid, you remove that natural break. You are essentially creating a mainline injection of liquid sugar, delivering it directly to your bloodstream for the fastest, most dramatic spike possible. It hits your system with an intensity that whole fruit never could, guaranteeing the most extreme insulin and cortisol response. It's not an exaggeration to say that a single mango smoothie can spike your blood sugar higher and faster than eating pure table sugar from a spoon. The liquid form bypasses key digestive processes, flooding your liver and bloodstream almost instantaneously. This is what leads to that infamous sugar crash an hour or two later. The brain fog, the irritability, the sudden crushing fatigue. That feeling isn't just your body being tired, it's the feeling of your hormones, especially your testosterone, hitting rock bottom. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, we have to talk about dried mango. This might be the most insidious form of all. The dehydration process removes all the water, which concentrates the sugar into dense, chewy little nuggets of hormonal poison. A small handful of dried mango can easily contain the sugar of an entire large fresh mango, but without the water volume to fill you up. It's incredibly easy to overeat, consuming a horrifying amount of sugar in just a few minutes. But the concentrated sugar is only half the problem. The other half is what they add to it. To keep that bright, appealing orange color, manufacturers treat dried mango with preservatives, most commonly sulfur dioxide and other sulfites. These chemicals are not benign, they are known endocrine disruptors. An endocrine disruptor is a chemical that interferes with your body's entire hormone system. In this case, these preservatives can actually mimic or block your natural hormones. They can bind to your testosterone receptors, physically preventing your own testosterone from doing its job. So even the little testosterone your body is still managing to produce is rendered useless. It's a tragic irony. You reach for a mango, thinking you're eating a piece of pure natural sunshine. You believe you're nourishing your body with something wholesome and good. But internally, the reality is the exact opposite. You are swallowing a sugar bomb that triggers a metabolic state of emergency, floods your body with stress hormones, and systematically shuts down your masculine hormonal axis. You eat sunshine, but your hormones, your vitality, and your very sense of self fall into a deep metabolic darkness. The effect isn't subtle, and it isn't something that happens over years. It's immediate. Within just a couple of hours of eating that mango or drinking that smoothie, your testosterone levels can crash to be significantly lower than they were before you ate anything at all. You are actively making yourself less of a man, one tropical fruit at a time. And the worst part is, you've been told it's healthy. Morning fatigue. You wake up more tired than when you went to bed. Muscle loss. Your shirts fit differently. Your strength is disappearing. A growing belly. Fat accumulating where muscle used to be. Lost interest in life. Activities that once excited you now feel like chores. Poor sleep. Waking up multiple times, never feeling rested. Brain fog. Forgetting names, losing focus, feeling mentally sluggish. Irritability. Mood swings. Withdrawing from friends and family. Loss of confidence. Second-guessing decisions you would have made instantly before. Doctors call it depression, age-related decline, natural aging, but it's not natural at all. More pills for symptoms, sleep aids, antidepressants, energy boosters, treating effects, ignoring the cause. Cut them out for 30 days. Watch what happens when you stop poisoning your hormones. Replace them with berries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, low sugar, high antioxidants. Kiwi fruit, vitamin C without the testosterone-destroying compounds found in citrus, avocados, healthy fats that actually support hormone production instead of destroying it. nuts and seeds, protein and healthy fats that give your body the building blocks for testosterone. Pomegranate, the only sweet fruit that actually increases testosterone levels in clinical studies. Day 1. Your body begins to recover from decades of hormonal sabotage. By week 1, you'll notice your energy stabilizing. No more afternoon crashes. Week 2, sleep improves. You wake up feeling actually rested for the first time in years. Week 3, muscle tone begins returning. Your clothes fit better. Week 4, mental fog lifts. Decision-making becomes sharp and confident again. 30 days. Testosterone levels begin their natural rebound. You feel like yourself again. Your next grocery trip is a declaration of war against hormonal sabotage. Read every label. Hidden fruit sugars lurk in places you'd never expect. Eating out becomes strategic. Skip the fruit salads, avoid the smoothies, say no to citrus garnishes. Order with confidence. Your hormones are more important than being polite about food choices. Family will pressure you. It's just fruit, it's healthy. Stand firm. Your testosterone is not negotiable. Friends will question your choices. Let your results speak louder than their opinions. Your testosterone is your strength, your confidence, your identity. Don't trade it for an orange, a handful of raisins, or a slice of mango. Make the choice now. Every day you wait is another day of hormonal destruction, and take back your second youth. The man you were meant to be at 60 is waiting.